Hi. Showed up late to my own party. We'll see how this works out. I'm going to be patient. For those of you who will join, I just want to let you know that this is a great opportunity for me to give back to the community. I really just love how I'm supported. If you do want to book a private reading with me, you can text 714-220-8351. My price bracket starts at $350 and goes to $450 for a regular sit down with me. The time is determined, but it usually is whatever it takes. So anyway, other than that, I'm just going to wait a second and see what happens. I do have a banner that I'll put up here, okay? Let's see. Here we are. Let's see, maybe we could come up with an even better one, right? Anyway, if you, oh, good. Hey, Angie, right on. Okay. All right. I love you. I love you. Go ahead and comment a query. Tell me a question, right? What kind of question is it that you would like answered? And as you guys come into these understandings, all right, we're going to begin to, hi, Andres. Okay, we're going to, I love you so much. What we're going to do is we're going to entrain the thread for a specific energetic understanding so that we benefit by being in the thread, whether we receive a message directly or not. All of it is applicable. All right. And so if you ask me a question that you know the answer to, I'm going to be Captain Obvious. Yes, Andres, right? Yes, it's a choice. So you're going to have to choose a direction. You're choosing the polar opposites, right? So be more succinct with your question. All right. Like, which direction are you leaning in? What feels better to you? And don't you think you'll be doing both no matter what direction of travel you're in? So really understand the question you're asking. Okay. It isn't a surface question. It's never a surface question. And then what limitations do you have that prevent you from making that choice? What are you working through right now that is beneficial to you? Okay. And how you read your experience is how you're able to determine and navigate the upcoming adventures. Okay. All right. Now you could come up with a different question, right? Okay. You see what I mean? Okay, so what I want to do is I kind of want to start with a little mini meditation. Okay. And hi, Maya. No. Okay, Maya, no. You can't ask that, but you can reframe your question to ask how you feel about him, because that's going to determine your interaction with him. Okay. And if your intuition is already telling you that you're not sure, then that's the energy read from the individual. When you're with them, you're both feeling the same thing. Okay. And you're kind of, it feels not necessarily new. All right. But kind of open. And if you could keep it open, that would help you. Like in runes, there's different phrasing, and one of them is true union is accomplished when the winds of heaven dance between you. Okay. And so when you're coming into a question about asking if another individual is into you, right? Are you into them? And if you're into them, why? And are you into yourself just as much, right? Are you trying to fill something, right, that feels empty? All right. First, you got to find out what the emptiness is. The emptiness is usually something in the past. that you may be connected to, but it's a lens that you use moving forward often. Not you in particular, you in general. All right. And I think that for all intents and purposes, Maya, I think that you have a lot to offer. You have a lot to offer, and I wouldn't diminish who you are and what you bring to the table. Okay. And let's see. I'll go ahead and I will pull some cards on that for you. And I'll do it. Here's how I'll do it. Okay. I'm not going to tune into him. I'll tune into you and how the energy between you work. All right. I'm not going to disturb somebody else's vibration out of curiosity. I wouldn't want anybody doing that to me. That would irk me. So, all right, let's see. You can feel the shift in the energy if your sensory awareness is heightened. All right. What else I'm going to do is I just want to kind of bring in the elements for support. And begin to maybe start clearing any psychic debris that we're experiencing, like any trails that we don't want with us, right? We'll invoke the law of transmutation. We'll go into rhythm and correspondence. We'll have compassionate understanding and polarity. We'll attract that which we are. We're going to dial up our offering. Breathe. Settle into your physical self, right? Like you're sitting down energetically into your physical body. There you go. We're going to imagine that our feet are hitting the ground, the dirt, our bare feet hitting the dirt. We're coming into contact with earth. We're going to breathe down into our bellies and release all those toxins that hold us back. I got a lot. All right. Okay. Nice. Good connection. All right. Now we're going to go deeper into the earth. All right. That's why gratitude comes in, because you're plugging into your natural frequency. This is your natural EMF. Okay. So we're just going to go deeper into the earth. All right. We're going to let the earth replenish our elements energetically. We're going to feel revitalized, rejuvenated, and clear, grounded. We're going to balance as above, so below. Not too much sensory overwhelmment, and not too much overthinking, right? We'll come into that balance so that we're in harmony with who we are. Take a nice deep breath in and release. Okay, great. All right, Maya, since I started with you, all right, let's go ahead and pull some cards around framing a different question. Okay, so the question that I was drawn to two different decks to pull, and I'll pull or use pendulums. It just depends on how I'm drawn. I might just cold read. It's not very cold. It might be cold to you, but it's not cold. And then depending on what kind of questions you ask me, usually they should be centered on you. Okay. will I do those questions are action and supposition, and you're deciding. Okay, so when you ask me if you're going to do something, you have to determine whether you are or not. Then I can look into the field for what you're asking about, because you're asking about, will I be successful? Is this going to work out? Do you see what I mean? So be general if you'd like, but specific to you. That will give you a better connection into the feed and into the understanding of who you are and why you feel and think the way that you do in the situations and experiences that you're in. Okay? All right. I'm getting off my soapbox. Ooh. Okay, Maya. Pretty high vibration. Yes, Maya? Okay, here we go. I'll shuffle 3 times. There's 2. I'm pulling in the energy of what your ask really is. I'll give a loose interpretation in how to pull my little mouse out. Okay, so this is the question, and how we're going to answer it. How we're going to answer it is a little different than how it appears. Okay, and I'm letting the information populate. And I call energy information, and so I get a lot of information. I'm just going to kind of push it out a little bit so it doesn't feel so overwhelming. All right, so you've been thinking about this quite often and a lot. Maybe you're not aware that when you pull too much too close to you, you'll feel tight and you won't have any possibility in your field. Okay? Okay? So Maya, what I want you to do is just kind of get centered and imagine your aura around you, very colorful and beautiful. And I want you to extend it, just push it out into the universe, all right, to connect with all that is. It's like breathing in a different way. Feels good, right? Okay, great. Anybody else could do the same thing. What we're doing is we're creating connection to perceptions. All right. So, how I would rewrite this question would be it could be several things, okay? Because some of it is, should I put in effort? So maybe we'll pull a card for that. Should I put in effort? He seems okay, feels like it, but it's also, is he the one? And I think that is he the one is a concept more so than an individual. And I think that's why you're asking the way that you're asking. So what we're going to do is we're just going to kind of shift that perspective, okay? And ask yourself, am I worth my time? Am I worth my time and effort? Okay? Am I worth my time and effort? Okay, so we'll pull 3 cards for that. That'll pertain to your relationship. You'll see. Okay. And then we'll pull 1 more card. Comes from the Moonology deck. This is from the others are from my Tarot of Dreams. And the Moonology is going to be a determinant of some sort. Okay. Pardon me. Another way to put the last question is, am I worth the effort? All right. Am I worth the effort? Okay, you see how it kind of ties in to where you're asking, am I worth the effort? Okay, all right, so I'm asking your higher self to choose a card from my offering. I feel very drawn to. There. So this is almost an answer to a very solar plexus, close to your soul path answer. Okay. All right. I just want to let you know that. So it's very impactful. Let's see. Okay. So is he worth the effort? Let's start there. Okay. Ooh. He's very passionate, huh? Okay, great. So this feels like a good trajectory if you choose, because it's a spiritual union at the same time, to where like his beliefs don't necessarily coincide with yours, but he charges you in different ways to where you really reach who you are. And that's through conversation so far. And I don't know how much interaction there's been. It doesn't feel like it's been going on for a long time, but there's a new depth to a very short period. And in this very short period, you're coming into your own, okay? And so this is your position in this, right? This is your position in this, the Queen of Wands, all right? And so you're making a decision about him. Like I had said, all right? You're making a decision about him, whether or not he's worth the effort. All right. And we're getting, depending on how much interaction you have with social media or other people who are of like minds and feel the way that you do, that maybe hinders your true choices, right? If you're listening to too many other opinions, is what I'm saying. Okay. Maybe you can meditate, right? And a good way, what they're showing me right now is that if you want a clear-cut choice, you can make it. And here's a way to do it. You can divine it. You can divine it through a meditation. And what they're suggesting, what I'm seeing, is you sitting cross-legged. Looks like you have beige carpet. There's like a sliding glass over here. Anyway, so you're going to sit in like brightly lit room. And it's going to be like maybe 2 or 3 minutes, and you're going to get very centered. I'm going to show you how right now. Okay. So you're going to close your eyes. You're going to breathe into like your heart chakra. Do 3 breaths. Sit still. Breathe into the top of your head. Release, relax, 1. Breathe into your forehead. Release, relax, 2. Breathe into your cheeks. Release, relax, 3. Breathe into your throat and neck. Release, relax, 4. Breathe into your feet. Release, relax, 5. Breathe into your legs. Release, relax, 6. Breathe into your hips. Expand them. Release, relax, 7. Good. Breathe into your back. Release, relax, 8. Breathe into your front. Release, relax, 9. Breathe into your arms and shoulders and hands. Release from your shoulders, down your arms and out your fingertips, 10. Be still. I'm going to ask you to open your eyes and choose a color, black or white. Tell me what your color is. That's awesome. Okay, so I use like chi energy, okay? And chi energy is very um it is like yin yang energy, okay? So he's a very powerful being and he is like your yang, okay? And that's what it shows me, all right? But you too can do this same meditation and you can choose like two objects that mean something to you. And what'll happen is you will naturally focus in to what's most beneficial for you depending on how you feel in response to the situation. And you're connecting your thought process and your feeling process because you have two different brains. And when you do that, you show all the way up. So it's easier to make a decision. Now it doesn't feel so, it must be him into me. It feels like, yeah, I think I could get into him. All right. That's my him. So hold on. Hi, I'm on a live. I have to go. I love you. This was impromptu, so thank you very much. All right. So, but it will take effort because that's what the Queen of Wands is. But that means that you're going to be the one who's on fire. You're probably in your deep spiritual understanding of who it is that you wish to be, and moving away from societal norms or conditions or grooming is probably going to be beneficial to you. So is like happily ever after and things like that. It's determined by you. So when you're asking, is he into me? Are you into him? Okay. And that's what this shows me, that it's all up to you. Okay. All right. So remember the next one that we asked, right? Am I worth it? Okay. So am I worth it? I pulled 3 cards and you're a magician. You're a freaking magician. You have like all of the, look, okay, I'll just show them to you and I'll read them really fast. Okay. So the magician is the lesson that you're in. You can make anything happen. Communication is key. So stand in who you are and what you know in an empowered way, kindly, with compassion. All right. Because this is what you want in reciprocity. Okay. And so be who it is that you know you are. All right. And you're like a little overwhelmed because you're getting a lot of information. So I would just slow down. Meditation is going to really help you if you don't do that already. Okay. All right. So anyway, so the first card is the magician. All right. And that means you have a large window. August around the Lion's Gate is when Mercury goes back into retrograde. So there might be some distortion in moon phases, but other than that, you should be all right. Okay. The next one that I got, okay, so this is like you rule your world, okay, so keep that in mind, all right? The next card that I got was the 6 of Cups, and it's like if you guys had like an argument or if you had like a separation or if there's anything like that that's in your past, it's all been reconciled. But what I'm really feeling from this is that there's an offering being made to you and you're not sure if you want to invest, okay? And so you have to invest in you first, okay? And find out your why. Why do you love me? Why are you into me? All right? Kind of be self-absorbed a little bit, self-discovery, self-realization, uh, discovering your likes and dislikes. Okay. All right. And so I do see a reconciliation. I love you. All right. And it may not be him to you, and it might be you to him, but there's some healing to be done between the two of you prior to that happening. Okay. All right. So basically, what you're going to do, oh, that's why I got to determine it. Do you guys have kids? No, you either have kids or it was about money, one or the other. Okay. And it was about something that both of you guys really feel strongly about. And let's see. Sorry. Okay, there we are. Okay, so it could be, but it's like a message, all right? So this is like a sun in Scorpio, All right. So it might take some time before you guys come back together. And it might be because both of you really have to understand who you are and what position you're in the ask that you're having of one another, because you're really asking yourself out loud to another person of yourself what it is you desire. Keep that in mind. That's like, it's a crazy understanding, but that's the truth. All right. Because we're in our own rabbit hole and we have a desire. So we're asking outside if you can fulfill it. Okay. And we have to know how to fulfill that, because we're asking from an emotional place as well. And when we're asking from an emotional place as well, something feels unfulfilled in our nervous system or in our sensory awareness. And we're trying to use an outside or an external to feed something that has absolutely no connection to it. Okay. So part of it, Scorpio is also about transformation. Okay. And so I think that that might have something to do with it. But this was the message card. This is a page of coins, page of pentacles. And so it kind of let me know that it was about like home or hearth or material wealth. It was very substantial. All right. And so you're the magician. All right. You were overwhelmed. You had too many things going on. So you got to figure that out. You're the only one that can speak up for you, to you. Okay. And that's how we're heard. We hear ourselves, and that's how we're heard. We feel heard when we hear ourselves. And what I mean by that is that we'll tell ourselves a story, and then if we execute that story, we'll feel empowered. If it's an empowering story, if it's a diminishing story and we step into that and we action it, we're going to feel diminished. Okay. So tell a better story about yourself. That's what you're learning. Okay. All right. And then I guess this determinant would probably be, it feels like a date of some kind. And I'm checking a lot of energy. You'll feel a lot of movement right now. Okay. So the movement is, is a relationship safe for you? Do you feel safe in the relationship? I should say that. That would be a more accurate question. Do you feel safe in the relationship? Are you able to be vulnerable? Can you connect on an emotional level? Do you feel emotionally supported? Okay, so this may be why the argument and the separation is, because like also when it comes to like an earth card, right? Pentacles or coins, however you want to call it. When it comes to an earth card, it's a very physical aspect as well. So this is a very physical message for you as well. And so simply because you have all the tools, if it's a moving out situation, all right, you have everything you need to be able to do that. All right. That's what I'm seeing. It's going to be overwhelming, but you probably wouldn't do it until Scorpio season. All right. So you could like look at it that way, depending. But if you're staying in a situation that is going to continue diminishing you, whether you live in or are in the relationship, and you keep going back hoping for a different result, that is an obsessive compulsive behavior. The behavior is something that we do, okay, because we do it in a variety of ways. Like, I'm not going to eat sugar, and then sugar down, right? And then, or we'll feel restricted over it because we think we can't, different things like that. And all we're doing is diminishing our experience and creating rules that don't exist. I'm not saying to be all willy-nilly. I'm saying be within yourself and authentic, and that'll help. In this aspect, all right, I feel that the power of choice is in your court. Okay. 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 So remember how we talked about Scorpio? So this will probably be Sag season for you when it really comes to a culmination. It'll be a full moon in Aries. a fiery climax approaches. Keep that in mind. All right. I can say forewarned is forearmed. I think that maybe learning how to speak to one another in an understanding that each of you has different viewpoints of the same situation, different perceptions, okay? And their opinions, they're just opinions. I cuss a lot, not right now. They're just opinions. But both of you have to come to that understanding, and it feels as though this individual doesn't have that capability right at the moment, as if they're just going to hold on to whatever it is that they're thinking, and that is the only truth that actually exists. And that's why it feels so forceful to me, and that's why I'm asking if you're safe. So if you say I'm not sure, that may be because you're not aware of how you can make yourself safe. Okay, so I would like for you to ask yourself questions. How can I make myself safe in this situation without giving you up? Okay, without becoming auto accommodating and really stepping into who Maya is, right? So these are things that maybe you didn't learn as a child, or you felt very safe as a child, and so you didn't have to naturally develop because you weren't placed in weird situations. Now you're in a weird situation, and none of us know until we show up to that experience how it's going to be for us. All right, we just don't know. All right, so let me see. I'm going to read the card. I don't normally do that, but I'm going to do that today. I feel like this will help you. So we will do that for you. Oh no, Libra. So Libra season. That's going to be, so right now we're in Taurus, then Gemini, Cancer, Leo, and then Libra. Okay. Oh wait, Virgo, Libra. Sorry, Virgos. So it looks like about 4 or 5 months. It's obvious I hardly ever use that. Use that. I love my life though. It's pretty good. Okay, let's see. Okay, so I'm just going to read this. I'm thinking I probably need more light, but we'll just do it like this. Okay. It's time to see if you've been a little bit too much me. That's when it will become that way at that time. All right. So keep that in mind. There's a tug of war going on between what you want and what someone else wants. But you'll have to wait a little while to see what's going to happen next. As you wait, ask yourself if you've been handling the situation as sensitively as you could have done. Okay, if you know deep down that you've been a little rash or harsh, gone too fast or overstepped the mark, then accept that on some level you've created the situation yourself, which means that you can create your way out of it too. When this card comes up, a peak is coming and it could be fiery. Okay, so reevaluate how you, for me, here's what I would do. Okay, here's what I would do. I would, because when we get advice like that, like reevaluate or whatever, okay, I think that what we could do in that moment is that we could tell the story differently to ourselves so that we understand we're in it, and we can bring ourselves to a conclusion that feels and seems more favorable. All right. So you can do that self-discovery of, maybe I could have said this, maybe I could have said that, but that isn't going to help you. Maybe you could write out what points you would like to make that are valid, so that way your emotions aren't so heavily involved in the situation. It's difficult because emotional charges usually come from past traumas. And those past traumas show up as like inner child or teenagers, different things like that, who we used to be in that moment. And we change from moment to moment. So even after this interaction, it's going to change for you as well. The idea is to understand that you're still the same person and that you take you with you no matter what. Wherever you go, there you are. Okay. And the idea, okay, is to allow yourself to really sit in your behavior that you want to change, but you need to become aware of your behavior. Okay. The other person's behavior as well. Okay. If it is dangerous to you, then I don't think that like that's a good relationship. Okay. If it's dangerous or detrimental, if they don't know how to be kind, if they can't be compassionate, okay, and if you haven't seen any kindness from them during the relationship, okay, things like that. Because when we're feeling unsafe, we'll tuck in, we'll roll in like this, and we won't let anybody in, and we'll create evidence as to why we feel unsafe and why we shouldn't have these interactions. And then we come from that space when we have this communication. And the idea is to go through those armor cells that we have created through past traumas and love ourselves, integrate, and say, yes, you're awesome. Thanks for showing up. Okay. A little bit of shadow work, I think, is what would probably help you with this. In this, it's like it feels volatile, but it doesn't feel dangerous volatile. It feels ending volatile. So whatever that is for you. Okay. And those are my concepts that I pulled forward for your reading. They're telling me to pull a rune for you. I don't know why. I love them. We'll just do it. It was. What? Movement, progress, the horse. Ewas is a rune of transit, transition, and movement, of physical shifts, new dwelling places, new attitudes, or new life. It also signifies movement in the sense of improving or bettering any situation. There is about this rune a sense of gradual development and steady progress, with the accompanying notion of slow growth through numerous shifts and changes. This could apply to the growth of a business or to the development of an idea. A relationship may need to undergo changes if it is to live and grow. Moral effort and steadfastness are called for when you draw movement. Another of the cycle runes. Let it be said this way: as I cultivate my own nature, all else follows. You are the writer of your story. Make it good. Make it good, right? Why oppress yourself? Why do that? Okay. This rune symbol is the horse, and it signifies the bond between horse and rider. Bronze Age artifacts show a horse drawing the sun across the sky. Here, Ewas is saying you have progressed far enough to feel a measure of safety in your position. Now it is time to turn again and face the future, reassured, prepared to share the good fortune that comes your way. The sharing is significant since it relates to the sun's power to foster life and illuminate all things with its light. Keep in mind that is another fire aspect coming in, right? So it's going to take action. Whatever it is you're contemplating, you have to put into action. So your words need to change. Be kinder to yourself. The way that you talk to yourself is how you'll start talking to others. Okay. And so if you have a story about somebody that you really don't like fuck him, or fuck her. Sorry, that's just how it gets in my head. Okay. Then you're the only one hearing that. So you're saying that to you. That's the only person hearing that is you. Stop doing that first. Okay? Stop doing that first. And then maybe move to thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Like when you hear yourself in that loop of dissatisfaction, you could change it. Just change it to something else. Thank you, 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 until you feel it. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay? You could say different words, words that are uplifting, well meaning. All right? And that will help you. Okay? All right. Well, Maya, many blessings. All right. And let's see who else we have here. Okay. Thank you, Maya, for allowing me to be a service to you. And I hope it wasn't too harsh. I know that I'm like a water faucet, people tell me. Well, a fire hydrant, but that's okay. We don't mind. Okay. Let's see which way I'm going. Here I am. You're welcome, Maya. You're welcome. You just got to be kind to you. You got to be kind to you. Okay, so let's see where we're at. Okay, whatever that one is. Okay. I'm mixing my deck up a bit so that way I can, if I have to use the same one, it will be all right. Okay. Maya, if you're still here, you're probably going to experience the energy for about 13 days, and there'll be substantial shifts. So in about 2 weeks, things might look a little bit different. All right. Journaling and meditation, walks. If you go out and walk for 10 minutes, it'll change everything. That's the easiest way to do it. Okay. Tuning into the thread here. Let's see. Hi, Debbie. Okay, let's see. Is it a straightforward answer? Yes. All right, so we have to do a determinant. I'm going to do a rune. Runes are always the right way. I'm going to do my love runes. They're in a beautiful purple red velvet bag. Ooh, Suelo. Suelo. Wholeness. Wholeness is what Suelu is. Okay, so that's going to be. Wow. So this is what your relationship encapsulates, maybe, or how you feel in regard to your relationship. Okay. And somewhere in here, we're going to find a hidden gem to answer your yes no question. All right. So here is the rune. The rune has no reverse. Okay. So it looks like a lightning bolt. Okay. All right. Pardon me. Suelu stands for wholeness, that which our nature requires. It embodies the impulse towards self-realization and indicates the path you must follow, not from ulterior motives, but from the core of your individuality. Seeking after wholeness is the spiritual warrior's quest. So do you have a desire? That would be the question. Do you have a desire to marry this person? Okay. All right. And yet, what you are striving to become in actuality is what by nature you already are. Become conscious of your essence and bring it into form. Express it in a creative way. Maybe you should ask him, get it? All right. So, anyway, A rune of great power, making life force available to you. Suelu marks a time for regeneration down to the cellular level. Although this rune has no reverse position, there is reason for caution. You may see fit to withdraw or even to retreat in the face of a pressing situation, especially if events or people are demanding that you expend your energy now. Know that such a retreat is a retreat in strength, a voyage inward, right? So go inward and find out if you want that, right? A voyage inward for centering, for balance. Timely retreat is among the skills of the spiritual warrior. Suelu counsels opening yourself up, letting the light into a part of your life that has been secret, shut away. To accomplish this may call for a profound recognition, for admitting to yourself something that you have long denied. There is a prayer known as the Gayatri. Ooh, yeah, let's just let all that beautiful energy from the Gayatri come in. All right. All right. That embodies the spirit of the rune of wholeness. Address the sun in this fashion. You who are the source of all power, whose rays illuminate the world, illuminate also my heart, so that it too can do your work. While reciting the Gayatri, visualize the sun's rays streaming forth into the world, entering your heart, then streaming out from your heart center and back into the world. This is a powerful and life-enhancing prayer. There is a caution here not to give yourself airs. Even in a time of bountiful energy, you are required to face and vanquish your refusal to let right action flow through you. Nourish this capacity, for it is a mark of true humility. Practice the art of doing without doing. Aim yourself truly, and then maintain your aim without manipulative effort. Meditate on Christ's words, I can of my own self do nothing. For by our own power we do nothing, even in loving. It is love that loves through us. This way of thinking and being integrates new energies and permits us to flow into wholeness, which is the ultimate goal of the spiritual warrior. I feel it was very applicable. Did you like it? I love being in the channel and allowing it to just come through. And sometimes it's like it's challenging, you know? It's challenging because I got to just let it happen. But thank you so much, everybody. Thank you so much. Okay, so I'm going to look in the thread again, and I started way up here and I was waiting, and so let's see. So, oh, okay. All right. Let's do this. Hey, Angie, are you still here? Oh, man. Life is good today. Life is really good today. All right. Okay, so let's see. Awesome. Okay, so it says work, just want to know things are going to be okay. Okay, so right now I'm sensing like a lot of anxiety. So maybe we should just see how the energy shifted, right? We were in all warm, fuzzy, lovey energy, and now we're in a lot of psychic debris. Okay. So in the psychic debris, what we're going to do is we're just going to clear. Okay. We're going to begin clearing through intention so that way we can get it to the zero that we would like it to be. So we can set the energy pattern and do the entrainment so it behaves the way we want it to. Okay. And this is how we will help our work be fruitful, fun, frivolous. Okay. We will intention it. All right. So I guess a little magic today. Pardon me. So first things first, what we'll do is we'll do it for anybody who happens across the field. All right. And it is a practice that I have through intention and connection that I'm able to clear energetic spaces. All right. And then the energy gets set with a new pattern through sacred geometry, and it begins behaving and clearing. So there's like reciprocity in the space. And what comes around goes around, right? And so you just take the vibe that it's in, okay? And you, because we're all vibing that when we go into work, we're feeling the same thing, okay? So the idea is before you enter, all right, create the vibe that you would like to have all day long. Create it first. Do it through emotional connection, centering, watering, having your coffee, but do it on purpose. Okay. Do it with purpose. Okay. So this is the first thing that we're going to do. We just woke up. I never have enough time. And I don't want to wake up any earlier because getting to bed at night, oh man, I got to process everything I've been through for the fucking day. So I'm just not getting up early. No problem. No problem. The minute you open your eyes, say thank you. That's the first thing. Thank you. The minute you open your eyes, say thank you. It's very powerful. The first reflection of you that you see, say, I love you. Right? Okay. And the third thing that you can do, all right, is breathe. Breathe on purpose. Like you're taking in fresh life force energy and you're clearing away all the psychic debris and it's swirling and collecting. And then as you express your breath, it's leaving. You could do that going up and down the stairs. You can do that going to the bathroom. You could, because you're breathing, just do it on purpose. Those three things will change your day every day. Every day. All right? Because these are the first messages that you give to yourself. And if they say, I'm worth it, then you are. All right? And you're incorporating them into things you already do. You're giving them meaning, you're breathing life into them, and you're saying, this is how I feel in response to being here again. Thank you. And when you see your reflection, so grateful, just, I love you. Right? And then just start taking some breaths to clear out whatever is there. Do you know that we release 70 to 80% of all of our toxins from our experience through our breath? Okay? So it's natural. And when you do it on purpose, the intention is filling your cells and saying, hey, this is what I want to get rid of. So those emotional charges that you've been working through or are feeling, okay, start to lessen. All right? They become integrated through experience and information. And they're not so highly charged. They don't sway you from this direction to the next. Okay? They allow you to be you and understand that you have many opportunities, many perceptions, and many opinions. Live your life. Live your life, and it will be all right. So let's look at your work. Okay. Now, everybody learned how to entrain their day. Okay. Isn't that beautiful? You just step into who you authentically are. Who you authentically are. Isn't that marvelous? What a concept. Okay, so I'm being drawn to my Mystic Monday cards, which are very divine feminine, okay, which is very interesting to me. All right. So it feels as though there's like a female that you're concerned about. I got a whole chorus going on. Ooh, okay. Pardon me. All right. Okay, so I'm settling into your place of work, and I'm doing so in a very general way through an intention. And I'm looking at the energy. So the first thing I want to do is, because I look at energy differently than a lot of other people do, and I feel as though since we're connected in oneness, all right, 100%. I'd like to have the flow and experience of my choosing, since I know how to access energy, or I have an intention, and then all of a sudden my energy field starts to feel and move in a certain way, and it attracts like energy and signals, right? And that's actually what happens, that law of attraction sort of aspect, okay? And you have to do it physically, mentally, and emotionally. It isn't one of any of those. It's all three: body, mind, and spirit. Okay. It's all three. And that's how you line up, is you could do that in the morning. Okay. So today's Sunday, so this is a great day. Okay. Sunday is like full of sun. It's a brand new day. It's just how like all of the energies are lined up for it. Okay. That means you're bringing in an awful lot of light to your places of business. Okay. Like a lot of light, the light of day, fire and cleansing. Okay. So you're bringing in all that energy, all of that intention, all of that connotation. All right. You're working with all that energy. Okay. Feel it? So now you're in the power of that beautiful, radiant energy, and it works. Okay. It works, and it feels like it's in flow, and maybe you're feeling as though you're on fire for something. Okay. And it ignites your spirit. Okay. So think in terms of that. All right. Now, let's say you're sitting in your living room and you bring your work in just like this, not too long. We don't want to work on Sundays. Well, if you're a Monday to Friday person or whatever your schedule is, if it's your day off, you probably don't want to work. But this is for you. Okay. So now we have our little place of business right there. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to release all spirit energy. So we're going to open up an archway. Okay. I do it in a direction that I'm led to. For me, it's northeast. Okay. That's just how it lines up for me. Not every time, but from where I'm at in the building right now. And so I open it up, and in that I have a feeling and connection to divine spirit. And so for me, the definition of spirit is anybody who's had a physical experience and now is non-physical. And this is usually people who maybe had abrupt endings, and they don't know that they're past, or maybe they're lost, or maybe they just need to find their way to the light. Okay. So I say, all spirit energy, go to the light, go to the light, go to the light. And I let it go. And I will feel better by doing that, because I'm in the middle of that experience in that office setting. So I will feel better because I'm releasing energy from my field that I participate in. Ooh, neat, right? Okay, so there it goes. So all those pains in the chest and stuff like that, the pressure that you felt around you, a lot of it's gone, right? Okay, but we're not going to stop there, because we have a lot of mind to work through. MIND. Okay. All right. So here's the next outline for you, if you will. So we've created gnomes and fairies and dragons and galactic beings, right? We've created all of this because we've experienced it in some way, shape, or form. So it's present in our field. And maybe it's a little overwhelming because we're pulling in ideas here and there, right? And now we're a little full. Okay, so I want you to imagine opening the skies above your place of business and maybe your home. Okay, all right, because we're going to open all the fields. Okay, and now a lot of times when things come to us energetically, it's because we're asking for help. And when we ask for help, an energy will show up. The energy will behave as directed. Okay, so if you give no direction, it will show up in its agenda. Okay, so when you ask for help, it shows up, and it shows up in many forms, in many ways. And the idea is to treat everything that's in your field with gratitude because it showed up to help you. Just use that interpretation. It allows you to understand that you can let go of it. That's why. Okay. And then just say, all cosmic beings, thank you for your service. You may go. Nice, right? That's good, right? Lower solar plexus, right? Your soul dantian, now your sacral. Isn't that nice? It's clearing everything where you felt powerless. All right. Okay, good. Let it keep going. Okay. Now, I like to use golden lasso. All right. And it does look like Wonder Woman's lasso. I can't get away from that. So I want you to imagine that you pick that up and you start swinging it. Okay. And you go to the far left corner and you grab it, the front right corner, the front left, and the far right. And then you wrap it 3 times. 1, with intention of capture. 2, and nothing will be left. 3, and then you grab it really good, okay, like you cinched it, and then cast it up to the God of your understanding. Whew. And everything's coming up from here, clearing, 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 and you just keep letting it clear. All right. Now that's part of it, right? Now, after you clear the energy of the space, what kind of energy would you like to experience? Would you like to have ease? What does ease feel like to you? What does it look like to you? Okay. Right. So you start pulling that in. All right. Okay. So in that, you can go ahead and expound what it is that you would like. Like, oh, I would like this. I would like this. Like, I would like, so happy is our choice. Okay. And then we have nuances of what takes place. Okay. So you could get happier, happiest, happiness, things like that. But first you have to choose happy in order for that to work. So you have to choose in your emotional body, and it has to be a feeling, a sensory feeling. All right. And that ignites your cells to be attractive magnets for that experience. So find happy in your body. We have 2 DNA strands that help us self regulate our emotional body. So every feeling that we have is a choice. And it's usually an association that feels like it's like that, but it's associated to past experience if it comes up very fast. So shock happens when like you have absolutely no thought. Okay, and that's a rarity. All right. So now that you've chosen happy, it feels like maybe not happy, productive, safe. What does safe mean to you, right? Job security. Okay, so it feels like job security, like you don't have anything to worry about. Your performance is awesome. You have your nose to the grindstone. You're doing everything that they asked you. You're as timely as possible. Things are always working out for you. Life is getting easier and better, and you're expanding your energy into the office and you're allowing it to get easier and better for everybody. Everybody is doing such a good job. Everybody's coming together in union. You're creating a community of support and like-mindedness. And in this like-mindedness, there is this openness of communication. There is this loving respect. There is this compassionate understanding that comes in and weaves its way through all of the energy. And in all of this energy, where are you? right? Where are you? How do you feel about that? So right here, Ange, what I have is pressure. All right. And that lets me know that some people in the thread, but also maybe you, can't allow yourself to see into those feelings. Okay. So, what we're going to do for you in particular, all right, is just clear that veil. We're going to bring in a better understanding of your worth. Yeah. The two cards that came out for you are these cards, all right? And I was just like laughing, all right? So it does, like the first hit I got before I went any further was that the new job has you kind of rocking because you'll probably get it. And you're afraid that it's going to rock your ability at the other one. You'll have to make some choices as to how to allocate your time and how to be supportive in your choices to yourself. So, getting proper rest, making sure you stay hydrated, obviously eating good so your body responds well, and you could drop your cortisol levels. All right. I think that 10-minute walks is what you actually need in between, like, segue situations that are a little bit overwhelming. You were given a big dirt load, and in that dirt load, you're expected to go ahead and navigate it. And you're getting some training, but not as much support as you feel you need in order for you to feel like the authority in their processes. You're the authority in your life. And understand that you, with time, will learn anything that they teach you. All right. And allow yourself to know that you're progressing. You're always progressing. You're always progressing. You're always moving forward, and everything is always working out for you. It's always working out for you. So relax. Okay. So this is how I kind of was able to read the situation, was these two cards right here. Isn't that neat? Okay. So the first card, this is the Magician. I love her. See, she's got the world in her hands. Okay. The Magician. And you could see that as above has her back, right? And you can see that she's illuminated by her willingness to view her world through the lens of enlightenment and connection. She's very activated from her crown all the way down to her roots. She's going through some illumination in some of the darker aspects of herself, bringing herself into an understanding of self-worth. All right. You can't see her feet, so you don't know how she's connected. So grounding would probably play in, right? Deeply connected by that beautiful color of dark blue to emotional aspects as well. Okay. All right. So now that you're in all of the elements and you're in full capacity of knowing that you're the hero of your story, how would you like to write that story? All right. And then Knight of Pentacles. All right. So Knight of Pentacles is, it's usually, well, this is the second time. No, first we had a Messenger. And so this is action. So in this action, all right, maybe you're being offered something that's brand new and you want to jump, but you have to really ask yourself of what benefit everything will be for you. Okay. And you're the one making a decision. So it's going to create what you might consider wobbles in your vibration or your ask. Okay. So first you have to decide what your ask is. If your ask is for harmony, then you can create harmony. If your ask is for more money, then you'll do things accordingly. All right. Yeah. You feel as though like your hands are tied behind your back, but that's all thought. Okay. And you also got like the Knight of Wands. So the Knight of Wands also signals that there's new, so that new aspect that you're bringing in, that's actually going to be beneficial to you. Okay. And I wouldn't worry overly much. Just manage your time as efficiently as you can. And you will be overwhelmed because you brought it in and you brought it in all at once, not in a little bit. Okay. Doesn't make it wrong. I'm going to pull a rune for you for this. Sorry. Ah. Oh. Okay. Let's see. Percana. It's breakthrough growth. Ooh, I freaking love this when this happens. Okay. And it's on page 123. So 123. So this is actionable energy. How fun. How fun for you. Okay. So Percana is growth, rebirth, and the birch tree. Only it came up reversed. Okay. Whoopsies, like that. Okay. Came up reversed. All right. Events, or more likely, aspects of character interfere with the growth of new life. You're getting in your own way. Okay, hold on. All right. You may feel dismay at failing to take right action, but rather than dismay, what is called for here is diligence. Show the fuck up. Okay. Examine what has occurred, your role in it, your needs, the needs of other people. Are you placing your wants before the needs of others? Strip away until you can identify the obstacles to growth in this situation. Then, penetrating gently, imitate the wind. You may be required to cultivate the soil once again, yet through correct preparation, growth is assured. So as far as work goes, if something went wrong, own up to your part, see how you can fix it and work through it. That's just how that would work. They'd have to train somebody else. So it'll be all right. Many blessings. I think that's all my voice is going to be able to do today. I love all of you. I want to do one. I saw another one. Okay. I'm just going to talk to Ryan. Okay. So loneliness, through the interpretation or the lens that you're using it in, comes from the story you've been told throughout your life, that you've listened to allow that separation from what it is you would truly like in life. So again, that same rune that just came up is that you need to really go in and ask what you're asking for and why. You need to know why. If you know why, then you're going to solve the riddle of lonely. Okay? When you solve the riddle of lonely, you won't be lonely anymore. And then your vibe changes. And if you're looking for partnership, you become open to that possibility. Other than that, right, if it's not partnership, or you're open to hanging out with other people or putting yourself out there in an intimate, vulnerable way to have conversations, create friendships, relationships, all right? Usually what keeps us back from that is a wound. Okay, so whatever the wound is, finding the wound and allowing you to be loved through the wound. All right, whether you created the wound or perpetuated it on another individual, or it was perpetuated on you. Whatever the wound or the trauma or the experience was that's creating this limitation to where you're closed and you won't let anybody in. Okay, because it's too vulnerable, it's too unsafe. Okay, the idea is to find out if that structure still works in the right way. Okay, you put the structure into place to keep yourself safe at a certain age. The age could have been yesterday. It could have been 4 years old, 8 years old. I'm getting like 8, 9 years old. Okay. The idea is to really love yourself for making the choices that you made once you find out how you created the structure, and then understand that that's who keeps showing up every time you have these feelings to try to connect. All right. Something inside of you, all right, a cellular memory is charged enough to sway your decision to want to connect with other individuals. And until you work through that charge, because the charge is very high, it will diminish, okay, as you work through it. And as it diminishes, it gives you a more even ground to work with, all right? And depending on what outside sources you're using to feed your mind, okay, that is going to impact your experience. So I would suggest enriching music and books, and maybe not so much social media, and going for walks around the neighborhood to find out, what the neighborhood behaviors are, things like that. And getting connected first with who you are, and then looking at your outward circumstances and how it connects to you, and then becoming more present and connected to your physical experience. That'll give you a different interpretation of who you are in your journey. All right. And sometimes when we're afraid to share our beliefs with other people because we think they're so far out there, all right, that keeps us disconnected because we're taught separation, we're taught segregation, and those are all made up. So when we have this yearning for union, reunion, rebirth, reconnection, it's very natural. Not knowing how to make that happen or come into that experience is what holds us back. Okay. So, Ryan, many blessings, and you have some work. All right. And then I think that is it. Okay. Well, thank you guys very much. I hope that this has been very helpful and beneficial. I'm going to pop up here every once in a while. It won't be a every week thing, but I just feel like giving back to the community that always supports me. And if you ever want to book a reading, you're more than welcome to. It's $350. All right. And it's 714-220-8351. This was like an hour. It wasn't spent on all one person. So you can only imagine how in depth we will get. And what we'll do is we'll shift until you're ready to be in alignment with what it is that works for you. This right here, okay? Okay, go ahead, ask your question. You haven't asked. Wait, hi, how are you? Is that your question? Here's your question, right? This is your question. I'm great. Now I've answered your question. What could cause you so much desperation to come on when I'm signing off and insist that I service you? What could cause you so much desperation? What is your question? Ask your question. What has you so removed from who you are and your decision-making empowered person? Okay? What has you so separated from you that you don't know the answer to your own question? Don't say I'm sorry, you're fine. Okay, so this. Okay, so we answered a similar question earlier, and it took a great deal of time to answer it. Okay, but the reason it took time was because I don't answer that style of question because it is really based in how you feel about you. Okay, and until you feel comfortable and confident in who you are, to where when you get comfortable and confident as to who you are, you work with your self-worth, and you do some realizations of how awesome you are. All right. Like how awesome you are. All right. When you focus in that way, in that direction, you allow other people to think that way of you. Okay. If you think about how kind and loving and giving you are, and you practice those things, that's what people will think of you. All right. So if you've had interaction with an individual and it was disfavorable because maybe you said something that you didn't like, all right, or maybe they said something you didn't like, then that's just going to tell you that in that moment, in that very small moment, in that very situation, okay, that there was dissonant energy, nothing more. And what we'll do in that particular situation is that we'll go ahead and we'll grab onto it, trying to make sense out of it because we're feeling less than. So we'll grab onto something that's less than and we'll work with that. All right. And we'll continue to gather more evidence of why we are not enough. Okay. So the flip the script sort of thing is in order. And mostly what that would be to like really dive in and find out who you are. Like you bring a lot to the table. You have a very loving nature. There is desperation because you feel like you're going to lose something that you really care about, but you're losing you. You're losing you. I'm sad over you losing you. You're the most important person to every experience that you have. And you need to let you matter. Need to let you matter to the point of letting you love yourself for who you are, for all of the stuff you've ever been through, right? And not all of us have had a cakewalk, and it doesn't feel like yours has been all sunshine and roses. And this feels definitely in a different aspect, and you are deepening your feelings. So getting in touch with your feelings and learning what they mean to you so that they don't have like super high charges, right? And they can enhance your experience rather than direct your experience. But you have to get to know who you are. And all I keep feeling and sensing about you is this beautiful gratitude, compassion, a depth of kindness that is unwavering. You would go the extra mile for a friend and you wouldn't expect anything in return. There is this nurturing aspect of you that likes to have someone to take care of, and you like to be taken care of. You're not sure what that looks like or how that transpires. And mostly what it is learning how to love you and hold you in that regard that you want for others. Okay? Knowing that you are the most beautiful individual. Okay? Knowing that you are perfection, your creation. You've never had this moment before. And as you move forward, you become and you choose, and you become and you choose. And that's how life is. So, thinking, we're in shared thinking fields. So, pepper the field, right? Since it's consciousness, right? Since it's consciousness, right? Pepper the field with the spice of your flavor, right? Your flavor is beautiful. Put more in there. Just put more in there. All right. You're welcome. But the desperation, I had to shift the desperation. So until I recognize an energy and how it's behaving, I can't shift it. So when I say it out loud, it isn't accusatory toward you. It is reconciling that there is an energy behavior that I'm going to shift. All right. See how it shifted? So I'm sorry if it felt very abrupt. That wasn't my intention. But the energy of desperation is abrupt. Okay. And when I stop it and I capture it, it shifts. Okay. But you feel better, right? but you feel better. I hope everybody has an excellent day. And thank you so much for joining. I love you guys. I love you so much. Mwah. All right.